The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
First down, handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
Go! Go! Dallas Cowboys!
It is a Victory Monday here on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Tostitos. It's not the official chip and the dip. I guess it is the official chip and dip, but that's not the read anymore, and I forgot to pull out the other read. I apologize, Tostitos. I will get it right tomorrow. Heckma Harrison got it right.
You miss a couple days, this is what happens.
I'm completely off, man. I forgot they switched it. I forget they switched it. But guess what didn't switch? The Cowboys got back to their winning ways. A 43-3 win over the Atlanta Falcons. 40-point dub over the Falcons, and that is how you rebound. The Cowboys, it was a huge question going into the week. How were they going to rebound? And let's just say they did it in a big-time way on Sunday afternoon. Alongside Heckma Harrison, Isaiah Stanback, Rob Phillips, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Glad you're with us here on this Monday morning. Let's party, gentlemen. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.
Heck yeah! Come on. Yes. Take your earphones off because this is how it's going to be today. Okay? And so after we laid that egg,
everybody upstairs is ready now.
After we laid that egg, hey, we put Humpty Dumpty back together again. 40 burger. Who predicted a 40 burger on this show? Who was the man that said Chris Beam was going to go and get that 40 burger? Who was the guy? Raise your hand if you're that. Can you raise your hand? All right, come on. Let's go.
It was Isaiah Stanback.
Did you have one? Did you enjoy one after the game?
No, I'm a vegetarian, but they don't have a vegetarian menu. How dare Whataburger?
Wow.
How dare them? They didn't consider me.
Those jerks.
They're the best. They'll work.
They'll work with me. I'll eat their pancakes.
Got a vegetarian over here and the guy that only eats farm-raised chicken.
That's right.
What are you even talking about? He has no idea what he's talking about.
You only eat like the organic stuff?
We've never had this discussion ever. He is just on run.
I figured if you're the guy that only got on the roller coaster for the first time at 25, it's only free-range chicken that you'll eat. It's all good, man. It's going to be off the chain like it's going to be this all day. Let's go.
Oh, goodness. Rob, what did you think about that one at AT&T Stadium? That crowd was having some fun with it, too.
So much for a blueprint, huh? I mean, they told us, Dak told us after the last game against Denver, like, bring this aggressive man coverage if you want to bring it. And it was more about us. And it was, in fact, more about them. And that's exactly what Atlanta tried to do. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the All-22 when it comes out. But it did seem like, at first glance, they mixed it up. But a lot of it was man-to-man and safety help over the top. Mm-hmm. And they absolutely toasted it and got right back on track heading into what, to me, is like the most fun matchup that I can remember with the Cowboys in several years.
They take care of business. I mean, we talked about it. We talked about it all week. I mean, I didn't want to call it a fluke, but I pretty much told everybody that they didn't show up to work last week. And everybody has those days. You don't want to think about your professional football team having a day where they don't show up to work or, guys are kind of out of it. But guess what? They're humans, and that's the reality of life. And what you're looking for is people to be able to bounce back from those things. And that's exactly what you saw this week. It was not indicative of our lack thereof ability to execute or any of those things. It just was a bad week. And guys, because of the character of this team, they went out there, they put in the work, and they ensured that would never happen again. And this was their response to that game. And on top of that, I think that they were playing for a little bit more than just redemption of last week's game. Some of the coaching decisions, going for two, calling timeouts at the end of a half when you don't really have a chance to get the ball back. I think they were trying their best to embarrass. Yeah,
say it with your
they
chest,
were trying to
Isaiah.
drag. It's not Friday, but I'm gonna say it. They were trying to drag Atlanta, and I think Coach Quinn may have a little something to do with that. And I'm actually kind of proud of them.
I loved it from the coin flip all the way through. We kept our foot on their throat the entire game, and that's the only thing that I took that as. And all of the criticism that Coach Mike McCarthy has got going 0 for 4 on fourth down, he comes right back in this game and he stays with his game plan. He doesn't waver. He doesn't change, man. And also Bones Fossil. He's a guy that's taken a whole lot of criticism over the first part of the season and some of the decisions, but special teams and the way that, like, this is a complete team win, but the way that the special teams played yesterday, even with, a CD on punt returns, the block punt, and, man, shout out to Nashawn Wright. Shout out to Nashawn Wright. His redemption came quick from a guy that had, obviously cost him that punt block that hit him in the hands, but then coming back and getting a touchdown. And Dorrance Armstrong had himself one hell of a game, man. It's just a complete team win. I love to see them win in dominating fashion and absolutely leave, no question.
This is the most complimentary win they've had in 10 years, something like that.
I mean, it's the first 40-point win since the year 2000.
Because Heck just laid it out. We just talked about how great the offense was. Punt block, again, which I think they've got 2 for the season, but we saw with our own eyes a week ago what Malik Turner did. It should be 3. And then defensively, getting 3 picks in a game for the first time since 2010. So you name it, everything went right. They went, I forget what they were against the Broncos on fourth down. It was like 0 for 4, 3 for 3. I mean, it's just like everything just tilted. It was like a roller coaster. It went down and went back up, And so, hey, I know.
Are you scared?
A little bit.
Okay. At least you admit.
Yes.
That's the thing, though, that I think is going to get lost in all the fantastic stats, like you said, is the conversions on short yardage situations in late down scenarios. Third down, fourth down, completely flipped on its head. Heck mentioned it earlier. I think that might be the most encouraging thing moving forward. The other thing is like you said, the punt block is going to stick out on special teams. The returns from CeeDee Lamb certainly are going to stand out on special teams. But I don't know if I remember a game consistently with kick coverage where the Cowboys were able to get down the field and stuff a team more consistently than they did like that one.
Yeah.
I mean, go back and watch it. I mean, Atlanta, when they would have an opportunity, they didn't have an opportunity.
No,
Let's just say that. There was no opportunity to make any kind of return. And, I mean, Liram Hajrullahu came in, did his job. Filled in for a week for Greg Zuerlein, didn't miss any extra points. And, well, he
what about Anger?
Yeah, Brian Anger was punting well. That's the thing. Special teams is going to get lost in the shuffle because the offense put up 43 points and the defense only allowed 3. But like you said, complimentary team win, that's about as good as it gets. And I know Isaiah likes the special teams unit, likes to talk good special teams.
We're talking about these boys for a while now, and people were talking about I was crazy and Bones Fossil sucks and blase, blase, blase. And I was saying, they need to keep pressure, and that's what you do on special teams. You don't. And now all of a sudden it seems like everybody seems to be in the same bandwagon as me.
That was the best unit they had last season. That was by far the most consistent unit they had last season.
That's
it's
so
just
sad.
they tried some crazy stuff situationally last year and it didn't work.
Pump the brakes.
No, toot your horn one more time.
No,
you did. No, you deserve to right there because you did call it. Yeah. I was saying, hey, Bones is the one homeboy that your wife said you can't go out with him. Yeah. But one thing about your day one homeboys, if you ever need them, you call them, right? I'm telling you, you got to stay with your day ones and Bones, man. That's it. That's just aggressive play calling. You gotta love it.
Yep.
What did you think about Dak Prescott and the way that he played after really kind of the down game that he had against Denver? Just never had really the same page with his receivers. Sure, he gets Michael Gallup back. Gallup played well, had a couple catches, especially a big one inside the 5-yard line on one of those drives. But it looked like Dak was back to being dominant Dak. And that's another thing that was encouraging to me. What did you see from 4 on Sunday?
I thought he looked I thought he looked good. I thought when at the beginning of the game, the first series right there, he came out and made a throw. The free safety for the Falcons missed a pick, and I think Dak kind of pulled himself back in and said, hey, I know I got control of this. Started letting the running game do some things for him, get down the field. But it was on those big throws. It was on the fourth downs, man, that he was making throws to one to CeeDee Lamb, I believe one to Michael Gallup. All of those throws were clutch. much for us. And so, I just felt good about his mechanics. He looked good, right? On the touchdown run for Dak, all right? Look, bruh. No, we don't need you carrying 4 people into the end zone. We ain't got to that point yet. When we get home field advantage, and that's to go to the Super Bowl, that's when we pull that out there, Dak. But my God, that's the only thing I was like, please get up, and he did. I mean, but you're right, Kyle. Great performance, and I loved it. I loved every bit of it.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it in the pregame live show, Kyle, and talked about how Dak just needed to get back to his mechanics and his fundamentals of his footwork and his delivery and everything that entails into making sure that he's an efficient thrower. And I think he just got back to those things. There was nothing that he needed to do that was miraculous. He just needed to get back to the fundamentals of being a quarterback, because I think last week he just showed up and try to go out there and just do it, and the rest was real. It's like you don't want to realize that you're getting older, but guess what? That back locks up on you. Back in the day, you should just be able to walk out there and throw the football around. Well, last week Dak realized, dang, I can't just do that anymore. So I have to actually focus on these things when I'm coming off of a little break, and I think that's all it was for him. But it takes instances like that. You want to see guys say, hey, go back and review that film, come back and make the corrections necessary to go out there and not allow it to happen again.
Yeah, Mike actually agreed with him last week. He said, even though he was full practice the week of the Broncos game, their pre-practice quarterback school stuff, they kind of held him out of some of that footwork stuff. And I think there was rust there. I think the other thing, too, is that everybody around him was just better in this game. The pass protection was better. Terrence Steele looked more comfortable. They put some help to his side. The receivers were healthier. You mentioned Michael Gallup being back. Definitely helps. But CeeDee Lamb was clearly, and I asked him about this after the game, clearly moving better. I mean, all you could see was that wide receiver screen on the second play from scrimmage where the ankle's okay. And then on top of that, I thought Ezekiel Elliott set the tone.
Yes, sir.
I personally thought his block on the touchdown
pass
throw,
blocking, yep,
decleating Deion Jones. Like you talk about, they didn't play physical enough against the Broncos, and that was their challenge to themselves. That set the tone right there. What Zeke did.
That's the stuff that doesn't show up on the stat sheet, and that's what I'm always telling people: don't get enamored with the doggone stats. Like, it's cool to use as a guide and it's cool to reference, but 14 carries for 41 yards and 2 touchdowns. Okay, well, you look at that and you say he was just our goal line back. That's if you were just looking at the stats, you say he's our goal line back, and he didn't. Okay, yeah, he had touchdowns on the goal line, but take that away and 14 carries for 41 yards, 2.9 yards per carry, he didn't have a good game. Bull crap. Zeke went out there like he's been doing all year long, and if he's not carrying the ball a bunch of times and getting a bunch of yards and making these big gashing plays, he is blocking his tail off, and he is freeing up guys and opportunities for Dak to sit back there comfortably and be able to deliver that rock. He is an intricate part of this team, and people need to identify that and recognize and give him the credit for it.
Yeah, we identified that last week, talking about what Zeke's, what his impact on the game is going to be. Not only running and pass protection and getting steal that help, he operates like the extra swing tackle for us on that touchdown play, and decleated exactly what he did. I mean, because Deion Jones came up like, wait a minute, hey, I think he just hit me with something. I don't know what it was.
You seen Varsity Blues? Like, it was those kind of hits, like where guys are getting just laid out. That's what it looked like.
And he's sacrificing himself on that, to make sure that Dak has some extra time. But you're right. It's just that everybody in this game collectively played together. Our energy level was up. I know we're going to talk about the defense on the next segment, but that's where I think was the difference was. Once the offense came out and they scored on that drive, it was like the defense was like, hey, it's our time. Let's go, boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got after it. And the other thing about the Zeke and the complimentary play, the offensive line did their job early, setting the tone as well. I thought the final drive of the first going into the second, that was their best drive of the day, where it finally looked like Terrence Steele found some confidence. Connor Williams didn't have a holding call until later in the game. We'll talk about that at some point this week probably. And then there were a couple different things that really stuck out. The offensive line just gave Dak Prescott time to throw. Now, I will say, Atlanta's front seven was not very good.
Oh, they've been giving up points and yards.
Exactly.
No doubt.
But that was a huge confidence builder going into a game like what they're going to have this Sunday, and we're going to have fun talking about that later in the week as well. But how did you feel like the offensive line did and what you saw initially, at least on the first viewing of that game?
Well, I like that they were able to load up in goal line and get the Big Mac package going, even if he's a tailback lined up or whatever, and just – move the line of scrimmage in short yardage situations. I think Heck referenced it. And Bobby Belt, the great Bobby Belt on NFL Network, does great stuff with Jane Slater. He said since week 6, Dallas was only picking up first downs on 40.7% of plays where they were 1 to 2 yards from a first down. Second worst in the league. On Sunday, they were 7 for 8. That's offensive line moving guys off the ball.
Yeah, it is.
No, I thought they played well, and the Big Mac package. McGovern is out at the slot receiver, and I'm like, this is new.
Oh, I forgot.
Dude,
I forgot he was in the slot too.
When I saw that, it ended up taking, what was it, 37 yards? I got it right here. Yeah, 37 yards on a 2nd and 7. They put Connor McGovern out in the slot, and he was the lead blocker for a screen to CeeDee Lamb. I saw 66 go out in the slot, and I just started rubbing my hands together. I was like, creative.
CD
Kellen is
too.
back, baby. Kellen, what was that?
CD loved it. He talked about it in the post-game interview. He was like, hey, when you see your linemen out there in front, cornerbacks are trembling.
Is Kellen just doing this to just make himself laugh and be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to make
It's hilarious.
I'm going to make these guys worry about this next week?
Goes into McCarthy's office, and he goes right up to him, and he goes, hey, I'm going to put Connor McGovern in the slot. What do you think about that? What do you think? You think that's,
that'll work, Kellen.
Okay? Yeah,
I like it.
Kellen,
4 receivers to one side, and McGovern is one of them. Oh, yeah, that's an alignment we want.
He played some receiver in Pop Warner when he was 8 years old. So
in his dreams, he's always been a big man.
Yeah,
he's always been on the offensive line.
Every little fat kid's dream.
When are they going to get? I thought he was going to get a touchdown in this game.
I was just going to say that in a 43-3 game, and you're already blowing them out. I thought this might have been the chance for McGovern to get a touch.
Is it not well established by this point that that's not going to happen?
No, it's going to happen.
You got to keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
We want a big man touchdown.
Hold on to your seats. This week, I think we might see more trick plays than we've seen in the NFL in a very long time on both sides.
I was about to say both teams most likely, because they're gonna go
be in their bag.
deep into the playbook. All right, when we come back, let's talk about the defense. Michael Parsons again flying around. No Randy Gregory, no problem for the Cowboys defense yesterday. We talk more on the win over Atlanta when we return with more Talking Cowboys.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, where it's always a great people, great pay replay. You've heard now that Jason Witten has joined the Caliber Collision team. You can join him to do great work with great people for great pay. Apply now at jobs@caliber.com. That's jobs@caliber.com.
That's
Welcome
right
back
off the
in.
dome.
I'm
Off the
impressed.
dome.
I'm impressed,
Off
Kyle.
Thank
the
you.
dome.
I'm impressed.
Why is that?
Because you're not even breathing heavily. I think you are, but it's underneath your chest, so we can't even hear it.
Think so?
Yeah, you just ran upstairs.
I did.
And back downstairs within 2 minutes.
Uh-huh.
That was amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I also have the read, the new Tostitos read. So it's
Boom.
Talkin Cowboys presented by Tostitos, helping fans get in on the game.
I like
There
it.
you go. So that's the new read.
I'm looking forward to seeing a bag of Tostitos here one day. Just hopefully.
I think we can expect that. I think that's not too much to ask.
I don't think so.
No.
They're really great thin pancakes.
I mean, other shows. I mean, you think about hanging with Wingstop. They get Wingstop every once in a while. Yeah. I want to have like a queso or a salsa bar in here where they have like
we don't want to
all
disrupt.
of
We
their
don't want to
different-
disrupt Heckma's.
No.
You're not going to.
Okay, good.
No,
Is that the fruit cup over there?
He's self-sustaining
believe it.
at the same time. All right, let's talk about the defense. Cowboys give up 3 points. It's their first game underneath double digits.
Macaroon.
Points allowed since week 14 last year against the Cincinnati Bengals. That was a 30-7 win, and safe to say that was a dominating win. Not as dominating as this one. The Cowboys win at 43-3 over the Falcons. Rob, when you look back on this game and you see the score and you see the box score, what are you going to remember most about what the defense was able to accomplish?
Just how great the DBs played, but I think it was a product of the offense complementary, building up a lead, forcing Atlanta to be more pass happy, but I just think they got back to doing what they do, and that's being more physical. And I thought a big play, a momentum shifter, it was that second drive, because that's when they kind of settled in. Gave up a field goal on the opening drive, but then Jordan Lewis steps up big with some coverage.
Does.
They tried to test him.
That boy bought it all game.
Testing him against Kyle Pitts and Cordarrelle Patterson, and that punch out by Jaron Kearse at the end when he was looking for Russell Gage down the field, that seemed to elevate their confidence level after that play, and they kind of went on from there.
Jordan Lewis, you talk about setting the tone offensively. It was Zeke and the physicality that he had. It's hard to find a guy outside of Jordan Lewis that did it more. Maybe you could argue Micah Parsons early in the drive, or early in the game, I should say, but Jordan Lewis was right there. That dude had a fantastic game, and I threw it out there early. Was like, man, he's having a career game. I didn't say career best game, but I mean, my mentions very quickly filled up with reminders of the Saints game a couple years ago that he had, where he really did play exceptionally well. With the pick on the back end of this, with the 3 tackles, the takeaway or the bat downs, I think this was just as good of a game.
But I would argue this is better because that was only 8 snaps. It felt like he played 50 in that game against New Orleans, but he was asked to play a very small role. He was out there quite a bit, and he's their third corner and did a really nice job against a guy that can dice you up, Matt Ryan, if you give him enough time. That was a worrisome matchup for this defense, and they did a great job.
Man, I agree. I would make this the better game, and that's kind of where I was leading with it. But outside of Jordan Lewis and Micah Parsons, how encouraged were you with the defense and how they looked without Randy Gregory?
Yeah, I was encouraged overall. I mean, you take Micah Parsons away, but Micah Parsons had one hell of a game. 6 solo tackles, 1 for a loss, and a sack, and a pressure.
Forced fumble.
Forced fumble. I mean, a lot of, I know we're going to argue all week about him being an edge rusher. And I get it. You know, he does a wonderful job all over the field. I don't care where you put him. Just make sure number 11 is on the field. He impacts the game for us. But Jordan Lewis, you're right. Those 2 pass breakups back to back, I mean, it just signified what this defense was. And shout out to Tristan Hill. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Tristan Hill being activated and, man, playing like a guy that understands that he can't just make kind of work his way into the rotation. He came out like somebody put a little birdie in, had talked to him and said, look, you better come out the cannon. You better come out firing immediately. And he played like it, man. Really good to see him after all that he's been through so far.
He looked like a guy playing for his job. Ultimately is what it was. He looked like a guy who knows his job is on the line because of the young guys behind him. And he's a young guy himself. I mean, he was just a 2018 draftee. It's not like he's been around for long, so... Or 2019, sorry. But even more so. There are still young guys behind him that are going to make some noise.
Yeah, I mean, you felt like the competition was back on that side of the ball, and that's what
right away.
That's the whole Dan Quinn. I mean, we've talked about this over and over again. That's what he does, and those guys had a little bit more motivation. They had motivation because they didn't perform well last week. They had motivation because they were representing their coach. They were representing Dan Quinn and his response game to the team that he got fired from. So they were playing twofold. They were playing twofold, and then they're also actually threefold because they were playing for each other. So those guys had a lot to play for yesterday, and they're having fun. And that's what you want to see from your defense. Those guys are flying around. They got back to all the things that have made them great, right? Being fast, being physical, playing together, communicating. Guys not wanting to miss out on plays. I want to get a play. There was times where guys were wrapped up, and guys were coming in there taking another shot just because, hey, I want to get a shot at this too. Let me get in on this. I don't want to sit back and watch y'all tackle him. Let me get some contact.
No fun.
Yeah, let me no fun. The homies can't have none. So everybody played a part in it, and it was awesome to see. They needed this game. They needed this game.
How bad?
On the heels of what we got coming. So they needed this game.
I love that, but we talked last week about Randy Gregory's absence and being worried about how do you fill in for that production. Basham, Golston,
collective unit,
Armstrong, the first Cowboys player to have both a sack and a blocked punt in the same game.
Yeah, and then when we talk about how do we get back to being us and getting back to full strength, we know that Randy's on IR and it's going to be 3 weeks for sure, but also hearing that Tank is getting closer and closer. This defense, even with what we have right now, is going to be scary going into December.
Yeah.
Chauncey Golston, he gets the pass block, the bats down the ball. He played exceptional as well, but on that pass, I'm telling you guys, go back and see the All-22. Matty Ice was on his way to a pick six.
He was coming. Yeah.
He was, and so defensive line-wise, Osia Diggy, Zua, all of these guys, man, they had a great game. But linebackers, everybody, man, I think it was a complete, total team win.
It really looked like the defense stepped up knowing that they had a bad week last week. I think that certainly played a part in it. You heard kind of the rumblings throughout the week of just how locked in everybody was after the beatdown against Denver. But also you turn around and you say, you know what? We don't have Randy Gregory. That's been really the leader, the veteran on that side of the football. So now without him, where does it come from? Well, I want to be that guy. Is what it looked like. And, of course, we're not in the locker room. We don't hear that. We hear what we hear from the media availability. But, man, it's at least on film, it looked like you said, everyone wanted a piece of the action. Everyone stepped up and wanted a part of it, and it was really fun to watch.
No, it's a brotherhood in that locker room. But Dorrance Armstrong said last week, he was excited for the opportunity. I mean, you don't want to see your brother go down, but this is a guy that had a great training camp and then missed several games with an ankle injury and wanted to show what he could do. And so, yeah, I think absolutely. It's healthy competition. You're wanting to be the best player that you can be. Real quick on Tristan Hill, he got 15 snaps in the game. Quinn Bohanna was inactive, healthy scratch. They just swapped out just for a lineup change, and he had 24 snaps the week before. So Tristan Hill didn't play that much, but had 2 tackles, had a nice pressure on Matt Ryan at one point, and was pretty productive in there. So they've got to keep that physical mindset. If they that's what Dan Quinn keeps saying. They got to keep that edge. Atlanta didn't try to. Again, that's their MO. They didn't try to run the ball that much. They had a little success when they did. They got to keep that going. One advantage. It's this whole complimentary thing. You build a lead like this. It's the defense doesn't really have to worry about that side of the ball. It gets close. Then all of a sudden, the balance part of things comes in. So they got to keep, stay on that. And I think getting Tank back eventually will help with that, the edge containment, and all those things.
Not Dak, but DeMarcus Lawrence today tweeted out a picture of him on the sideline, and it said "soon" with like a ... very ominous from D-Law. Secondary, 3 picks: Anthony Brown, Trayvon Diggs, of course. 8th pick of the year. I mean, goodness gracious, that dude's still balling. And then Jordan Lewis, like we mentioned a little bit earlier. How do you think they played overall? I mean, Matt Ryan held to 111 or 117 passing yards. It's pretty impressive overall. And I think the Cowboys certainly had one of their better games of the year. Now, No Calvin Ridley to worry about, but they still had Kyle Pitts and Russell Gage, a couple other weapons for Atlanta, but they were non-factors throughout the game.
I mean, and hey, man, we're dealing with some injuries too, so it's just a part of the game. Sure. And you're right, they were shorthanded. They didn't have Calvin Ridley, but just going back to our guys, man, Trayvon Diggs, who has been taking a whole lot of dirt on his name over the last couple of weeks with penalties and assuming that, hey, man, maybe this was a little bit flukish for him to get those 7 interceptions. He comes right back and gets another. I love the way that they played Kyle Pitts. I was a little, I was like, they're zoning him up. They were switching coverage on him a lot, but they were just not willing to give up anything deep and were sacrificing everything underneath. And that was just Dan Quinn, man, he called an excellent game defensively and switched up coverage quite often. I think those were some of the things that kind of confused him and was these guys, Jordan Lewis and Anthony Brown. And Anthony Brown, I've been on the Anthony Brown fan club since the start. So guys, don't even
pick of the year.
You've given him a smelly sticker every week, right?
Yeah, third pick of the year. It's like you called it, my friend.
Hey, man, all I'm saying is AB on that interception. That was superior concentration and the way that he got that. So I'm just, man, the whole DB, all the defensive backs, all these guys, man, they're playing so well.
I was gonna pick AB, but I think you should pick him for this week's smelly sticker.
Too.
Yeah,
I don't see 3-0 on here, so he has 3 picks and 0 smelly stickers. I wonder who's. Oh wait, no, there is one 3-0, but I think it was Rob that gave it to him because it had the pineapple on it.
I actually did, so it's okay.
No, stop it.
We should put our initials on who did it.
I don't know if I believe you either.
We should start putting our initials on there.
Yeah, like real small.
It's not that big a deal, guys. Okay, I'm gonna give him mine today. Okay,
okay, all right.
You have to get down to that.
Oh goodness! What else stuck out from the defense? What did Dan Quinn do specifically from a game plan side of things, Isaiah? That really kept Atlanta off balance. Like, how did he confuse them? What were some of the scheme ideas that he threw out there?
I think he just downloaded their software, man. I think they actually came out with a pretty good game plan right off the bat. They were moving the ball early on, and after Kyle Pitts had a couple catches, after Patterson lined up at the receiver position instead of the running back position, I think those guys figured out real quick. I think Atlanta had their first 15 laid out, and then after that, they didn't really have
nothing else.
They didn't really have nothing else. So I think their first 15 were probably better than our first 15. But after that, we adapted. And I think Coach Quinn challenged our defensive backs to be sticky, simply be sticky.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
After seeing Micah put that move from the edge on the right tackle, did you have that aha moment when you saw that? I mean,
no. I mean, listen. We can go back to.
Are you trying to pick a fight right now?
He's trying.
No,
we can go back
I'm not.
We can go back to
I
all.
I said champ.
I understand. We can go back to all the podcasts that we've ever done here. I've never said that Micah is not a good defensive end. I've never said that Micah is not an impact player. I just said I prefer to have Micah at the second level rather than playing on the defensive line. Reason being, he plays more snaps. He can impact more areas of the game. Is he impactful at the defensive end? Abso-freaking-lutely. Abso-freaking-lutely, he's impactful. But I think it's a greater risk for him to get injured at that position, and I think it's easier for a team to take him out at that position. Not to say that he can't be effective, but he's not at that position if we don't have both of our freaking all-pro guys not present.
I think they figured out the right role for him, to be honest with you. Like, he's a linebacker, but he's going to move around, and on third down, there's going to be some pressure package stuff for him, whether it's off the edge, whether it's A gap, B gap, mugging that area. Like, that's his, as Dan Quinn would say, that's his superpower. Mm-hmm. Like, he can do anything you need him to do, whether and look, they needed him sometimes to be off the ball because their biggest threats, and God, I mean, Cordarrelle Patterson, Kyle Pitts accounted for almost all of their production throughout most of that game. When you've got guys in space who can hurt you, he's good being off the ball in some situations. Yeah. So I think that's why they were hesitant when he was so successful in that Chargers game. Dan Quinn kept saying, "Look, we don't want to get away from what he can do at linebacker. Mm-hmm. He's too versatile." And so it's a fun debate, but I just think in the end he's going to do everything.
Oh, he
a
is
little
special.
bit of both.
Yeah.
Oh, he is special, and you can see it for a rookie. If he's not your vote for defensive player of the year, rookie defensive player of the year, then something's wrong with you. Yeah. It was a tackle for a loss also. I believe it was on Wayne Gallman, and you just see his closing speed and what he does. It doesn't. No, it doesn't matter. You say like him, maybe they could scheme up for him if he's on the edge. I don't think that there's a way for you to scheme up for him because of his speed, the way that he plays. He's such an electric guy off the edge and also mugging the A-gap. It's a lot of the things that he does. It's just special.
There were a couple plays that he made, especially in run defense, where Atlanta tried to get to the edge, tried to get to the numbers, and he was on the edge, and he set the edge so well. It's not going to show up in the stat sheet. Could have, 100%. There's about 3 plays I remember looking at and saying, that was Micah Parsons. That was Micah Parsons.
And that was edge containment, you could say, was maybe their biggest problem on defense. And last week, aside from just overall just getting beat in the run game and getting beat physically and not being physical enough.
And Atlanta had just no rhythm on offense. I mean, you mentioned Patterson, Cordero Patterson, 25 rushing yards on 4 carries. He had 1 reception on 2 targets for 14 yards. Non-factors. Gallman was the leading rusher. He had 55, and a lot of that came in the second half because he didn't play in the first half.
And the Cowboys were really worried about Patterson. Like, I know for a fact they felt like he was as good of a player with the ball in his hands as anybody they had faced to this point in the season.
He's their offensive Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Let's call it how it is. That dude's been in the league for 8 years, and this is the first team that really recognized how to utilize him. Up to now, he's been listed as a receiver, but he's really a return man.
I mean, he was 3rd in scrimmage yards in the NFL entering the week, 1st in the NFC. So you don't get to that by just being a dude. Nope. You don't get to that by being just a guy. And I mean, the Cowboys made him just a guy on Sunday, and that's exciting. They've now done that to what? Austin Eckler had his lumps, I guess, but Dalvin Cook certainly was not Dalvin Cook. Cordero Patterson was definitely not Cordero Patterson. Whew. That's fun things to think about. Now they've got to do it with like 7 guys coming up this weekend. All right, whenever we come back, we're going to give some smelly stickers out here on Talkin Cowboys right after the break.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way.
Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Whether you're watching from home or you're cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you.
Mic flip.
See more, do more, Essilor on Talkin Cowboys. You went with the double flip.
Did you see the double?
The double flip. There was an exchange into it.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Toot your own horn a little bit, Isaiah.
Yes.
I love it.
Hank Hackman already got his board, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got it ready to go.
Ready to go.
He knows which one
like
he's
John
doing.
Legend right now.
So this is our tradition. If you're just now joining us here on Talkin Cowboys, I know we have a lot of new listeners that maybe weren't here at the beginning of the year or going back to last year.
Ready to go right now?
But
1, 2, 3, red. Like I got you, dog.
Nice reference. I like that.
Thank you.
Smelly stickers are our tradition of giving out basically helmet stickers. Last year we were virtual and we did every show on Zoom and we gave out virtual smelly stickers.
How do they do that?
I'm trying to explain this. Be quiet. Thank you. Okay, so in doing that, the helmet stickers are given out to a player of the game for every win that the Cowboys have. Each of us give out a smelly sticker, and it basically came from who said it first? Was it you that said it first?
Of course I said it first.
Yeah, you said it first.
Of course I did.
We earned him a scratch and sniff, the smelly sticker.
A little cocky there.
No.
And which one are you giving your smelly sticker to this week, Heckma Harrison?
All right, well, I want to zoom. Chris Beam, if you could zoom in right there on the I love you. The I love you.
It was upside down.
Talking your mic is what Chris is saying.
Oh, okay. I want you my donut says I love you. Hadn't had a donut in a while. Boy, I sure miss some. But I'm going to give my smelly sticker to one Anthony Brown.
Keep it on the other side.
Never doubted you, dog. Never doubted you. AB, that's for you, dog. I love you right here on top. There
Never
you go.
doubted.
Never doubted you, dog.
All the way back to training camp. No doubt whatsoever.
Never doubted you, dog.
Yeah, okay. I love it. Had a pick yesterday. 3 picks on the year for Anthony Brown.
Talk about it.
All right, Isaiah, who you got?
Well, this is a great win. Collective effort, all 3 phases.
No doubt.
There's a gentleman that I have high regard and high respect for. He used to be my coach. Now he's a coach of the Dallas Cowboys. His name's Dan Quinn. And we talk so much about Kellen Moore being in his bag. You see who I have right here? Little pineapple man right there with the backpack on. He brought his bag, went in his bag, and now he's taking his bag home.
Well, hello.
Dan Quinn, you're welcome.
I like that. In his bag, now he's
top that, P.
home. DQ's earned a couple smelly stickers this year.
That's what I like about Texas. All right.
Are they a sponsor?
No.
What is that?
I didn't say the name. I just said I like Texas.
Okay, you like Texas.
What is that?
This reminds me of my little munchkin at home going down the slide. I'm gonna go. It's peach. It smells good.
Georgia peach. I see what you did there.
There we go. I'm gonna go with. We got a theme going here. I'm not gonna let you derail me. We got a theme here. Defense. I'm going Jordan Lewis. He played 36 snaps. Kyle.
I'm sorry.
Get it together, buddy. 3 pass breakups and an interception. Not bad for slot corner work, which is not every snap of the game.
So Jordan Lewis, Dan Quinn, Anthony Brown.
That was awesome.
Georgia
Peach, man.
So
Atlanta
good.
Falcons, Georgia. I see what you did.
I'm going to do this. Oh, man. Which one do I want to do? Here, I got you here. How about Ezekiel Elliott? Had not gotten back in the end zone since week 5 of the NFL season, and he did it twice. So he's got a couple of cherries with the 2 touchdowns, but it wasn't just the touchdowns that earned him that smelly sticker. Is what he was able to do as a blocker. He did it in short yardage situations. He did it at the goal line. How about that? Ezekiel Elliott earns my smelly sticker this week, and that is the 4. Wait, what was that? Okay, so the defense earned 3 and the offense gets 1. We were tweeted at prior to the show, and it was basically like Oprah. It was like just everybody gets a sticker because you really could have given it to anybody.
You get 1, and you get 1, and
you get 1, you get 1, you get 1, and it was hard to kind of pick just 4 guys here, but I think we did a pretty good job of outlining it. Trayvon Diggs with another interception. The Cowboys with a 33-point lead at halftime. It's the first time they've led by 33 points or more since 1971 at halftime.
Just a few years ago.
Yeah, it was 774 games.
People's around you at 14 then?
What year?
71.
Jeez.
Wow. Somebody's older than I am across the table
That
here.
was a shot.
How old are you? I mean, you got the gray in the beard. What do you-
No, I wasn't around in 71, so don't try me, Pete. Don't try me, Pete. A little jokey joke. Let's go.
AARP over here.
Yeah,
right? Well,
Oh, you want to go outside and do something?
Let's go.
You want to go outside? You want to put shoes on? You want to go outside and run something?
Oh.
Calm down.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something.
Calm down.
I'll tag
Okay.
in for you.
Calm down.
I'll tag in for you.
Okay.
I bet you will. I bet you I'll tag in for you. Looking at.
I think we've got a minute left here.
I know this really escalated right before the end of the show.
What am I going to do here?
Direction. I don't know what's
kind of awkward. I thought this was a happy day. Yeah, I thought
it is a happy day.
We won
Come on,
43-3, and we're getting in fist fights.
No. It was a runoff, guys. We're not
either way
here on the show.
But whenever Rob would beat you in a run, it would be a fist fight after that.
No, I know Pete. Pete don't want none. It's all good.
Yeah, I actually don't.
Yeah, that's fair. So now going into this week, I mean, calm down, Fido. Did you hear the drop? Did you hear the drop from Chris?
I think it was timely. Either that or the can of whoop ass.
Yeah,
it was on its way, but they didn't get that one out. But cool.
Cowboys got it out yesterday.
Yes, indeed.
So best win for the Cowboys since
71.
Since 71. Is that your answer? I'm asking
I'm going to
you
say 71.
Since you last saw that. Okay.
It's best win since Halloween.
Since Halloween?
Yeah.
You think you don't think it was better than the Minnesota win?
No.
Why is that?
Because they did it without Dak in a ridiculous, hostile environment.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about margin of victory. I just mean you do that. That's why the Denver game was so shocking and disappointing
because
to them,
of what happened in Minnesota.
Yeah. Because they had momentum of all momentum after that game, and then they lost it, and give them credit for getting it back.
Damn right.
Ditto.
Same thing?
Yeah.
I like that. I didn't even really think about it that way. Yeah, this was dominant, but that was such a good win. Yeah. And hopefully the Cowboys can have another one like that this weekend. I don't know if I could be more excited for this Kansas City Cowboys game. I mean, this is what you sign up for to be a fan of an NFL team, is a matchup like this. I mean, if you want a benchmark of where your team is just after you've started 7-2 and you're rolling. Yeah, you had the one letdown against Denver, but that was a blip on the radar. Now you get a real test. Now you get a real chance. What are you laughing at?
The blip on the radar.
The blip on the radar?
That's how most blips go.
Yeah, there you go. But this is going to be such a fun matchup, and we've got 4 whole days to talk about it. We're going to do just that. Tomorrow we'll take your fan calls. We'll hear from Cowboys Nation. Hear the pulse on what was a 43-3 win over the Atlanta Falcons. And, man, of course, we're going to start looking ahead to Dallas and Kansas City. Cowboys are 7-2, and they're in first place in the NFC East again. And it's going to be that way for quite some time.
Smoke?
Who wants it?
Yeah.
We getting outside?
We ain't avoid nobody.
Going out there?
You can't avoid anybody, actually.
Yeah. We don't want
it's on the schedule.
You have to take the bet on, but
it's on the schedule.
Our next 2 opponents just finished playing each other. So if that's any indication of our next 2 games.
Yep. It's going to be fun.
Yeah.
All right. That's it for us here on Talkin' Cowboys. Hope you had fun here on this Victory Monday. We will be back tomorrow taking your calls. For Chris Beam, Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, I'm Kyle Yeomans. So long. We'll see you tomorrow on Talkin' Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!